Nothing makes someone less attractive than a lack of self-respect. People just don't respect those who don't respect themselves. So today we're talking about how to love and respect yourself so you can glow up mentally, physically, and spiritually. Hi beauties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Eva, and in this space we talk about how to level up and live our dream lives. So if that sounds like your vibe, hit subscribe, and if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, you can fill out the form in my description. As always, timestamps are down below and video chapters are as follows. Why is it that a bag from Walmart and a bag from Hermes don't carry the same associations, even if on the surface they both hold your items the same way? Because people respect things that are valued highly. And when something is free or very inexpensive, we have a tendency to assume that it's not as good. This is of course a simplification. Some people might genuinely prefer an inexpensive bag, maybe for style or practicality. And I'm not saying that one bag is better than the other. But what I am saying is this. Hermes and any other luxury brand has deliberately set its value. The price is part of the message, and it's a signal that we use to make fast judgments. That, along with the messaging, the packaging, the clientele, all of it works together to create this perception of exclusivity, of confidence, and of worth. It sends a message that says, this is valuable, treat it like it matters, and people do. Humans are read the same way. We look for signals to infer value, and not in a shallow way because we all have inherent value, but because our brains are built to simplify the complex social worlds that we live in. Everything from your boundaries to your posture, the way you speak, the people that you allow into your life, how you protect your time. Those are your versions of your packaging and your price. If you're constantly letting people walk all over you, if you're apologizing for taking up space, saying yes when your gut is telling you no, you're broadcasting how much you value yourself. It doesn't matter how beautiful you are or how much money you have. If you carry yourself like you're not valuable, that's the way people will treat you. Now, on the flip side, when you consistently send signals of self-respect, people will act accordingly. The clearer you are about your worth, the less room there is for others to misread you, and the more your inner and outer glow can align. So what does this actually look like in practice? We're talking about dating, friendships, just in life in general. Let's jump in. Okay, we're starting off with one of the most important points, and that is to stop chasing after people who don't care. My friends and I referred to this as the prophetic grovel talk that I gave many times in college, and it's time that I share it with you all because I care about you guys too much to let this go on any longer. The number of times that myself or somebody I know was talking to a guy and we were trying to decode his behavior. Well, it seemed like he liked me here, but then he did XYZ, mixed signals that, now I don't know what this means, blah, blah, blah. Let me just hold your hand when I say this. If a guy likes you, you will be able to tell. If he doesn't, you will be confused. It doesn't mean that you're not amazing. It doesn't mean that he's a bad guy. It just means he's not that into you. When a man likes you, he will go to the ends of the earth to get you. Men literally used to go to war. He will not make you question your worth. Yet, so many of us see these mixed signals as some sort of a challenge to try to prove our worth, to prove that we're valuable. Just stop, please. It is the biggest repelling energy when you're begging for attention or praise. I mean, think about it on the flip side. Has somebody ever just not left you alone, even when you've made it very clear that you're not interested in them? It kind of just gives this desperate energy and lacking self-respect, at least in my opinion. You can completely disagree with all of this. It's totally fine. Now, I do want to clarify that there's nothing wrong with expressing your interest in someone and letting that be known. I'm talking about the situation where you've done that, they've expressed that they're not interested, and then you continue to chase them. That is when we enter grovel territory. That is what we need to avoid. I'm telling you, quiet confidence speaks the loudest. When you are so assured in your value that you're not blowing up someone's phone just so you can get a text back. Like, let's say that you have made plans with somebody, but you haven't heard from them and it's the day of. Go and make other plans. I guarantee you they will learn very quickly that your time is valuable and they can't just treat you any type of way. People will treat you the way you allow them to, based on the way that you treat yourself. And when you treat yourself with a certain level of respect where you value your time, and one person not valuing your time doesn't mean that you're just gonna sit around and wait. You're gonna go out and live your life. People will respond to that. So have some self-respect and don't grovel for somebody that isn't giving you the time of day when there are so many people out there that will recognize your worth and value and never make you question it. Okay, next I want to talk about the importance of dressing yourself and presenting yourself the way that you want to be treated. People will make a first impression of you within less than a second of meeting you. So before you have the chance to showcase your amazing personality, your witty humor, your amazing intelligence, all they have to go off of is what you are externally presenting. If you're walking into a job interview, I know you're not going to show up in sweatpants. Not because sweatpants are bad, but because they don't necessarily convey the sense of I'm capable, I'm confident, and I take myself seriously. Fashion, grooming, posture, these are all signals like we talked about before. And this has nothing to do with money. You don't need designer clothes or a Loro Piana suit to be taken seriously. I'm talking about very basic things, basic grooming, having clean nails, having neat hair, clothes that fit you well, shoes that are clean and not super dirty and scuffed up. It immediately changes the way that people perceive you. And on top of that, taking care of yourself is truly an act of self-love. When you say to yourself, yes, I'm gonna take the extra 10 minutes to deep condition my hair, or even though I'm laying in bed and I'm super comfy right now, I'm gonna get up and go wash my face because I love myself, because I care about myself. Those are acts of self-love. If you had a Birkin bag, you wouldn't just toss it on the floor or, not care about the way that it's treated, because you value it, because you want to care for it. Living in New York has taught me this even more. This city is very fast-paced, it's ambitious, and it's unapologetic. And this is a city where you can never be overdressed. I see people every single day in their finest suits, in high heels, not a hair that's out of place, because it matches who they are and the respect that they expect to receive. They're dressing for the life that they want, and you need to do the same. If you're enjoying this video so far, I would love if you could give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Okay, next I want to talk about putting yourself first and choosing your joy. And this kind of goes back to what I said at the beginning when we were talking about when people say yes, even when their gut is telling them no. So here's my example of this. It's kind of a silly example, but regardless. So a few weekends ago, I had all of my best friends in town. They were visiting me. I just moved to the city, so we wanted to all get together. And there was a big group of us, probably about 10, and the plan was to all meet at this one restaurant. Then last minute, the plans are changing. It sounds like they can't accommodate a group of that size. So they say, okay, why don't we just go to this pizza place that's nearby? But here I was really looking forward to the first restaurant. So I said, you know what? I'm actually just gonna go to the first restaurant and I'll meet up with you guys later, right? Because I didn't want to go to the pizza place. I wanted to go to the first restaurant. So that was what I decided to do. I ended up meeting with my mom who was in town. Oftentimes when we are in that sort of situation, it's completely understandable to not want to be difficult, to just go with the group. You want people to like you, of course. But the better question is, do you like yourself? If someone was always forcing me to do things I didn't want to do, I wouldn't like that person very much. Yet we do that to ourselves all of the time. You are in relationship with yourself for the longest. This is your life, so why shouldn't you prioritize your life and your happiness if it's not harming others? Putting yourself first isn't something that's selfish, it is self-respect. And joy is a big part of this. When you prioritize the things that light you up, whether it's your hobbies or honoring your rest, your little rituals, it doesn't just make you feel better, you will actually look better. Stress is something that shows up on the face. I recently learned that stress literally breaks down your collagen. Resentment, it's something that we can carry in our body with tense shoulders, whatever. Joy is what makes you radiant. And when you're excited about your own life, people can feel that. So I would ask yourself, what would my life look like if I stopped betraying myself to please others? Because when you trust the right people, the ones that really value you, they will still be there even when you say no. Even when I said, hey guys, I think I want to go to this first restaurant, but I'll meet up with you later, my friend said, okay, great, we'll see you afterwards. And everything was completely fine. When you say yes to yourself and prioritize your joy, that is the ultimate glow up. Next, let's talk about saying less and protecting your energy. There's this quote from Fiona Apple. She once said, I'm not shy, I just don't talk if I don't have anything to say, which I absolutely love. I think this is such a great example of self-respect and somebody that knows who they are and isn't going to try to change that just for other people. I often find that when someone is oversharing, it's easy to tell that this person might be nervous. And I've done the same thing where I kind of just talk to fill space to avoid any awkwardness because maybe I really want somebody to like me or whatever. But there's something very alluring, very confident, and almost mysterious about somebody who she wants and nothing more. No people pleasing required, no overthinking, no worrying, oh, is this person going to like me? She already likes herself and trusts that that is enough. Beyond casual conversations, I think this is also a really important principle when you find yourself in arguments or disagreements with someone. You do not owe anybody a TED Talk explanation explaining your boundaries or why you were hurt by what somebody did. A woman who loves and respects herself does not have to explain herself. Of course, if somebody disrespects you, you should call it out and say your piece. But once you have clearly articulated your boundaries, you don't need to keep re-explaining them or justifying yourself. If someone can't respect you after you've set the standard, then that is on them, not on you. And oftentimes I find that silence is felt louder, especially when you've already made it clear what your standards or what your expectations are. Sometimes people will try to say to you, oh, well, can you give me an example? Or I just don't understand what you mean by that. And often it takes so much mental energy to rehash it out. You have to decide for yourself, is this worth my time? Is this worth my energy? When you've already made yourself clear. Love yourself so much to not tolerate the disrespectful treatment. And I'm telling you guys, once you cut out this sort of toxicity and you do honor your boundaries, the glow up is crazy. You're going to literally look more calm. You're going to feel more magnetic. And that's really how you get that inner and outer glow. At the end of the day, the ultimate glow up isn't about the external things. It really is about the internal. How much you love and value yourself and your level of self-respect. When you love yourself enough to set your standards, to protect your energy, and to choose your joy, it shows and people can feel it. So yes, self-love is sexy and it is the foundation of every and any glow up you will ever need. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I would love if you could give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. If you liked this video, you might like these. But thanks so much for watching and I will see you guys next week. Bye.